Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wild Moments brought to you by explore.org. It's me, Trishala. I'm a Lone Ranger today. But it kind of makes sense because we're well and truly into the festive period. Everyone's super, super busy, but I'm still here and I'm happy to be with all of you. Welcome because it's our last show of the year. I know, but that means that we'll be going through some of the best clips from the year. In fact, if you have any favorites that have jumped out at you, clips that we've had throughout the year, and it's so difficult to think about the ones from the beginning of the year, but if there's some sighting that stood out to you, let us know. And you can do that because we're live and interactive, so you can send through questions and comments, letting us know how you're doing, asking us anything you like, and of course, telling us if you have any favorite sightings of the year. But we've gone through and we've picked out at least some that we can remember. It's always difficult to remember, like I said, like from the beginning of the year. But we're going to try our best, and I hope that Kirsten and I did a good job of picking some out. But remember, if there's anything you can think of, let us know. We have some hellos coming through today. Zygote, you say namaste, Trishala. Namaste to you too, Zygote. Mr. HUAE 87, you say today is your sister Sunflower's birthday. Happy birthday, Sunflower. Is that a real name? Because I think that's beautiful if her name is Sunflower. Karu, you say hi, Trishala. Hi, Karu, and I'm sure many more will come in. It's a little bit sad. I mean, I'm going to see you all next year anyway, but yeah, rounding off the year kind of always feels interesting to me. I think that obviously it's just kind of an arbitrary thing, the end of the year, but at the same time I feel like, oh, okay, we've gone around the sun again, so it kind of makes me feel like it's seated in some kind of reality. But anyway, we're getting a little philosophical. Let us move on to wildlife, everybody. Let's go to our first clip, and this one's actually from this week. As you know, with Wild Moments, usually what we'll do is we'll pick clips from the week, or we'll have a theme, if say it's Halloween or something like that. And our first clip is from this week, and it's from Tao. Very interesting reptile interaction. Okay, we can see the croc. Oh, there's a snake. Oh my goodness, this is actually very, very cute. That's quite the scare off. Oh my gosh, I didn't expect that. I really thought it snapped up a piece of that snake. I'm not sure what snake this is, but I'm leaning towards a boomslang, just because it's arboreal, fairly active, quite long as well, and significantly thicker than these dry branches of the sickle bush, which I know are not particularly thick, but at the same time, that snake was like, about 3 times as thick as the sickle bush branches. So I would say maybe a boomslang. Kirst, I'm very sorry to do this to you, but I just want to see that moment where the snake, yes. The child within me thought, oh, they're going to be friends. Wow. Wow. That unbelievable. Like that kind of interaction, you will never see that out on safari. You will never see that. Such a difficult thing to capture, but because of the cams, we get to, and that is amazing. But what do you think there? I think that, well, I find it quite interesting that the snake was curious about the crocodile. The crocodile, I imagine, would be, but I think both of them is kind of like, this is very, very cool. I love that clip. Let me just move my chair away from the edge there so it doesn't squeak and irritate you all. There we go. We have a few more hellos. Casper Stud Ghost, you say good morning from Milwaukee. You've got some hot coffee ready. Nice. I don't have anything today. April Owl, you say good morning from sunny but cold Connecticut. Good morning, April Owl. Bridget McKinney, you say you love my haircut. Oh, thank you. I decided to get rid of quite a lot of hair. I love it. It's very easy to take care of this hair now. Thank you, Bridget. Andy, you say good afternoon, wishing us all peace, love, enjoy this holiday season and throughout 2024. Thank you so much, Andy. We do appreciate it. April Owl, you say you are watching some fun elephants playing in the water this morning. Oh, that's lovely. Does that mean that you're in South Africa doing that? Or did you watch it on the cams? I always look forward to you guys making your way here and getting to see it in the flesh. But anyway, let us move on to our next clip. This one's not a new one. This is one that we have pulled out from the year that is soon going to pass us. It's a really cool one. It's an elephant and good old Olkirikoi up in Aldonio. Let's have a look. Oh, I love this clip. This was one of the first ones that came to mind when I thought about the clips from 2023. Oh, look at those muscles. Oh! Gosh, I love this clip. It's also interesting that the elephant is not terribly aggressive. It almost looks like it's trying to say, "Hey, I was just wanting to ask you about what party is happening." That's a very sweet clip. I love so much about it. And we don't often get to see animals, particularly predators, so up close to the camera. And obviously, Olkirikoi was kind of forced in that direction, kind of stumbled. But what I also liked is just before he turned his head and almost looked like, into your soul, you could see all the muscular, I was about to say definition that was happening there on his body. And you could also see the distended belly. He had obviously had a great meal, and all the veins and arteries, you could see it. He was so solid. I mean, he's up close like that, you really get to see it, which is awesome. Oh, Karu, you're talking about the clip before. You say, "Oh, that's a snake." You couldn't tell. And wow, fast snake, and very lucky it got away. It was very lucky and very fast, but at the same time, maybe being so skinny kind of worked in its favor. Not a lot for the croc to grab onto. Yeah, April Owl, I agree. It did look a little bit like like the croc had bitten the head off the snake. But if we had a look at once the snake kind of launched itself onto the other side of that bush, you could see that its head was now facing away, and I could tell because you could see the infrared reflection of the eyes. But the snake did get away, at least I think so. Kaoru, you said you had no idea a croc would even try to snatch food from a tree. Exactly. It's almost just curiosity, almost just trying to, or its attention being drawn to movement and to sound, perhaps, and just being curious. And at the end of the day, crocs are ultimate opportunists, which means that they see some movement, they see an opportunity, they're hungry, they're going to go after it. For me, the most surprising thing was the snake actually coming down to meet the croc, almost like it was wanting to say hello, which is what I like to believe. Anyway, let's move on to our next clip of 2023, also at All Done You, and this was my pick because I thought it was just the coolest behavior. Oh, I remember this so clearly, and I remember going on a deep dive after I watched this because I've spent lots and lots of time with jackals before, and I haven't seen this type of behavior. How dominant jackals are, one of the things we're very used to seeing in dominant jackals is that their tails go up like that. So the one on the left, you can see the tail is up almost in a U shape. It doesn't just stick out straight, it turns up. But it's the parts coming up that I thought was really interesting. So if we're just thinking about normal dog behavior, the jackal that's in front of us now, he's got his ears pulled back, head low. If you're thinking about your own dog, that's a defensive position. Look at that, lifting up the paws. That's something that is seldom seen. Seldom, seldom, seldom seen. The lifting of one paw is far more common than the lifting of both paws, and that's that jackal trying to show submission. Now, if he was really, really daring and was desperate to show how submissive he is, he would put both his paws up and even touch the dominant jackal, which I think is so interesting. It's counterintuitive because you would think that it would be the dominant jackal that puts its paws onto a submissive jackal to show its dominance, but actually it's a submissive jackal almost kind of going, you know, and putting its paws onto the sides of the jackal, which is just very, very cool. When I saw that clip this year, that really stood out for me because it also, at the same time, it may not be the most interesting clip visually, but what it did for my brain, it just got me deep dive into jackal behavior, and I loved that clip. Uh, oh, Mindy Tillapow is on. Hi, Mindy. And so is Amber Co. Amber Co, you say happy Thursday to all and thank you. You're having your coffee and enjoying these clips, and you're wishing everybody a happy holiday season or a lovely holiday season. Thank you. Thank you. All right, on to our next clip for 2023. Also, don't forget, if there's some clip that you like, that you thought of, that you want to chat about, just want to reminisce about the great clips from this year, let us know. We'd love to chat about it. It's all about thinking about 2023 and all the wonderful wildlife sightings we've had. All right, next up, we have none other than the very famous, the very, very lovely, the very long Monty Python taking a swim. Hi, Monty, we miss you. Gosh, I can't wait for Monty to come back. Slow and steady, making his way to the water. Well, pythons are great swimmers. And look at all the frogs bouncing away. Gosh, judging from this, I mean, it's a difficult thing as well because I haven't been to Rosie's Pan in person. I would love to go, I really want to. But Monty looks like he's about 2 meters, if I had to just hazard a guess. There he goes, slipped away inside. Little bit of a dive. Oh, so cool. That was so cool. I always love to spend time with Monty, and yeah, I'm sad that he hasn't come back yet. But at the same time, that kind of behavior, if you don't know who Monty Python is, Monty is the famous, well, now you know who he is. He's the famous Python at Rosie's Pan in Baluli. And he reached fame by his hunting technique. So he'd go up onto a branch and then he'd wait or he'd lie in wait, kind of looking like a branch, and wait for birds to come past, and then he would snatch them out of the air. And that kind of behavior is something that, or I should say rather, energetically costly and unusual hunting behavior is usually something that you see with younger animals, so less experienced animals. Usually that applies to mammals, but I have a herpetologist friend who I spoke to about Monty, and he explained that he sees a similar thing in Cape Cobra. So the younger the cobra, the more unusual their hunting techniques are, the more energy they put into foraging, finding food, finding water, whereas more experienced individuals know exactly what to do and where to go. So they're using this energy. So not seeing Monty, maybe, I mean, obviously it's sad. We want to spend time with him and we hope that he does come back because obviously he's been fairly successful. with his hunting strategy on the branch, but at the same time, maybe he's grown, and he's going off and doing more usual hunting compared to the branch. But we'll just wait and see. Maybe he will appear. Last year, I think he started to appear around November, so in the wet season, and then he stuck around from then to about March, I think. So well and truly in the thick of summer and the wet season. So we still have some time. We're only at the end of December. Still have some time. Kaoru, you say you remember this clip. Yeah, it was a goodie. And then Christy, you say you miss Monty. We all miss Monty. But Monty, hope is living his best life out there in Baluli. I hope I'll get to see him one day. All right, on to the next one. Gosh, Oldonyo was on point this year. Let's have a look at some other close-ups at Oldonyo. I remember this clip. This was so interesting because this yellow baboon is staring right into the camera. It almost makes you think that it must see us. But as we concluded, it's probably looking at its own reflection. And as it moves, now it's just yeah, manhandling the camera. Why not? You can really see the brown of the eyes. But what I love is also the backdrop of Aldonio. There's so much going on that it's like, okay, we have the baboon right in front of us, and that's what's taking up all our you know visual part of us, and then suddenly it moves aside and you see, oh, okay, there's also a ton of other usual Aldonio animals in the background. It kind of typified the Aldonio waterhole experience, which I loved. um Oh, Mindy Tillapau, you'd like to know if I could briefly explain Monty's method of locomotion. Is it muscular contractions? Am I reading that today? Is it muscular contractions? Yeah. So if we look at Monty right now, at least as far as I know, it's muscular contractions. But this type of movement is called rectilinear, and if you watch him, you can almost imagine that there were little legs on there, almost like the way a caterpillar. Imagine how a caterpillar moves, but if it didn't have its legs. And so there are movements or muscular movements happening, but what's actually giving them the traction uh, is the scales. So the muscles are squeezing the body, the scales are moving forward, and then the rest of the body follows. And then again, contraction moves the scale forward, rest of the body follows. It's interesting when you think that it's actually think of, I guess, the scales as the feet, because obviously our legs still need to work for us to move, but it's our feet that's grabbing on, and those scales on the belly is what's doing that for Monty there. Rectilinear motion. Okay, up next we have. Oh, we've done quite a bit actually. Oh, this was also a cute one. Let's head to Olifant's River and have a look at a cute baby elephant. Oh, I remember this clip. Oh, it looks like the baby just woke up from a bed of flowers. So lovely. Actually, when we were watching this clip the first time, I didn't notice the hippo in the background there. Yep, just in the middle of everybody. Now, this is something that we see very, very often. When the adults find a good patch, they will be very, very busy, and they also know exactly where the youngsters are. And that's a good time for youngsters and even adults to have a bit of a nap, a proper nap, lying down, not just standing up. And you see sleeping elephants more often when they're younger than when they're older, and that's just because, just like other animals, or other mammals, I should say, youngsters sleep a lot more often than adults do. And we know that elephants can communicate over large distances. And so everybody knows where everyone is. Even for us with the camera, the elephants are still in sight. Oh, but one baby didn't get the wake up call. There it is. Oh, baby. It must be such a frightening thing to wake up as a young thing and not seeing mum or dad around. Where is everybody? And you can almost see when the panic sets in. Oh, Shane's looking around. Again, mum knows exactly where you are, little one. But that doesn't help you, does it? Shame. I've had many an experience like this in a grocery store. Oh, ears are out, tail is stiff. This little guy is nervous. There's everybody else. Just there in the top right. Come on, baby, make your way. And I love when it joins them. Everyone's like, yeah, we knew where you were. What's the big deal? I love that. It very much reminds me of, yeah, getting lost in grocery stores, or malls when I was very little, which scarred me just a little bit. But the same thing, I feel like I'm lost. I cry, try to find an adult to help me, and then my parents are just right around the corner, and they knew where I was the whole time. A similar thing with this little elephant. What a cute clip. Um, oh, Ozzy Jan too. You say hello, one and all. Coffee break. Thank you for joining us, Ozzy Jan. Amber Co, you say one of your favorite clips was the fishing leopard at Rosie's pan, and he actually caught a fish. I remember that as well, but I think, was that not 2022? I think it might have been. I don't remember in 2023. But let us know, Amber Co, because I think that was 2022. But anyway, um, keep sending them through. Tell us, what was your favorite ones. I mean, I loved that clip as well when he caught the fish at Rosie's pan. It's also something you don't see often, or few people have seen it, but it actually does happen quite a bit. I've seen it. Well, I mean, I've been guiding now for 5 years, over 5 years. Um, and I've seen it about 4 times, which is not very, very often, but more often than you would think. But that's a really cool clip. I love that clip. And it gets, when we see it on the cameras and we know it's kind of, it's recorded, it's there for anybody to see, it means that more people can learn more about leopard behavior, or jackal behavior for that matter. just by way of the cameras and having these things recorded, and a resource for so many people that want to learn about animals, and with real experience. You can really watch the clip and watch this animal. It's not just documented in a book. I think that's something I really love about the cameras. Okay, let us move over now to some giraffes having a fight also at Oliphant's River. I don't remember this clip, I must admit. This giraffe doesn't look very comfortable. Yeah, I don't think I've seen this clip. Oh, there we go. Pest said, no, I didn't watch it. I think this was one of the wild moments that you had with Taylor and Allie. That was a very interesting posture that the giraffe had as it moved across. Oh, wow! This takes necking to a whole nother level. Even the crocodile in the distance moved. The commotion. This feels so dramatic. The thrashing of the water, thrashing of each other. They're kind of losing their balance there at the same time. Maybe this is extreme necking. The one on the right is, I was about to say is smaller, but maybe just skinnier, not exactly shorter. You can see the one on the left is standing up much taller, but the one on the right is also darker. Ossicones seem to be shorter as well. Interesting. Very, very interesting. It does look like an extreme sport when they do it in the middle of the Oliphants River, doesn't it? Necking is crazy when you think about it. Imagine having this 2 meter long um, chain with, 100 kgs, 200 kgs of, well, no, that not that much. I think the whole neck itself weighs about 210 kgs, but that entire chain with the ball weighing about 210 kgs swinging for you to hit your opponent. Very effective. And then you take it into the water, it becomes an extreme sport. That was really interesting. Very, very interesting. Um, Next city, you say your favorite clip of 2023 was both at Naledi Dam. One was the elephant that slipped and fell down in the mud by the well, then got up and looked embarrassed. That is so typically elephanty. Uh, oh yes, I forgot about this one. The elephant spraying and then the lion chasing the lioness away. I remember that at the well. Um, that clip really did the rounds. That clip was very famous. Can't believe we didn't think about that one, but that was a goodie. That was definitely a goodie for 2023. Now, when we think about um, some of the achievements of 2023, as we close off our show, we have less than a minute together. So let's think about the achievement that we've had for 2023, and I can think of one that comes to mind. You guessed it. A beautiful black eagle chick, all grown up and finally ready to take flight. Gosh, do you remember how we watched this chick watched and watched and watched. We saw it from a downy looking rodent almost, just flat in its nest as it started to get more active, as it started to get its feathers coming through, colors starting to change, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Finally, to the point where we were so lucky that we actually saw it fledge. And remember, there was all this practice. He would stand on the nest and just flap its wings in practice of the fledging, just like that. It was such a beautiful thing to watch this animal grow. We're so lucky. There we go. Off it goes. I hope it has a wonderful life wherever it's living now. Probably not too far from its parents' territory, honestly. Anyway, everybody, it's time to say goodbye. This has been a fantastic year with all of you, and I do wish you all the best for the festive season. Whether you celebrate or not, it's still a time for us to kind of relax and reflect on the year. So thank you so much. I hope that you all have a wonderful time with friends or family, or maybe just a little bit of solitude. Whatever you need, I hope that you get it before the end of the year. And I will see you all in 2024. So goodbye for now.